let me ask you this question. Are you as far down the road as you thought you'd be in your business or even in your life? Hey, I'm John Harris and welcome to another episode of Exponential Radio. We're talking more about you now as an entrepreneur as opposed to your business per se, your enterprise. So the first thing we need to think about really here is focus, because it's really focus which enables you to get what you want. And what happens to us is that we get a lot of distractions. So these come in the form of others, their demands on you, interrupting you, asking you to solve their problems, those kind of things, which is really pretty distracting. The other thing is you yourself. You often, constantly your brain is kind of saying, okay, what is this and what do I do about it? Is something I need to fear? Is it going to be painful at each end of the spectrum, or is it going to give me pleasure? So those are kind of driving forces with us, and that's where we start focusing on that story we have and we've always had in our minds that we replay to ourselves, the words we use, etc. So that focus is really a key starting point to try and change the focus in a direction we want to go, instead of where we are just heading because of no specific plan. The way to start this really is to understand where you are right now. And here you need to have a touch of reality. You need to really be honest, because a lot of times we coat these things and we cloud them purposely so that we don't have to really come face to face of where we really are right now. Whether it's in whatever area of your life, but specifically we're talking about business now. So are you as far down the track as you'd like to be? Are you generating the revenue, the earnings you want, and do you have the kind of staffing team you want, etc., etc. So where are you right now? And the next thing is then you'll have in your mind, some people don't have this really planned out where they want to be, and what is the vision of what the business will look like in the end. Are they building this to sell it? Are they building it as a lifestyle? Are they building it as a growth business to perhaps sometime get listed? What is it that they really want? What is the scope of that business? And you need to really try and get some idea of that. Otherwise, you're not going in a specific direction. And again, this is the focus that you need things to drive you to that all the time. Your mind doesn't really differentiate between illusion and reality. When you tell it something all the time, it believes it. It doesn't distinguish. So the next step you think about is know why you want this. If you're going to do something, it's fine to get motivated. And motivation, there's different types of motivation, push, pull. Motivation that's much deeper. That's more of a burning desire. That kind of motivation is what you need. But to sustain it, you need the right habits. And those habits is where discipline comes in. It's a discipline that drives habits, because sometimes you don't feel like doing a specific thing that you're scheduled to do and you need to do it, and that takes discipline. It makes it a lot easier when you are driven by desire, a burning desire. Muhammad Ali didn't want to necessarily be the heavyweight champion of the world. He wanted to be the greatest champion of all time. And this is a very big difference, okay? And that's why he was such an exceptional athlete. It was his vision and the drive and the understanding that this was what he could do with being in such a position of sporting authority. So those are things that you need to think about. And the last really step you need to think about is your resources that you're going to need to be able to do this. How are you actually going to get the thing done where you want to be, and how you're going to do this? What kind of resources you need? And we know, look, there's manpower, machinery, materials, money, those kind of things. But you've got to see that the most important thing here is being resourceful. And it doesn't matter who you are. Elon Musk was also on his 2 months on his, as I understand, on his credit card, okay? If he'd failed on the last rocket launch on his Falcon, the third or fourth failure, I can't remember which it was now, that also would have sunk him. A lot of times he's been right on the edge. Starting with the car manufacturing was way tougher than some of the other things he's doing now. So he might have been better off doing those first. But anyway, be it as it may, he's managed to get through. So those, may be people that you think are the richest guy in the world, but they were at one point have been very, very tight financially, and they've had to use and had some bit of luck. But that luck comes about by being very good at what you do. If you're going to do something, Warren Buffett says, invest in yourself and then become very good, if not the best at what you do, and then you'll never be out of business. You'll never be out of, let's say, getting people wanting having demand for your abilities. So being very good at something is where you want to drive. And those are some of the things you need to think about. It's just a quick one today when we talk about you and your exponential expertise, how you're going to start to build those skill sets, the people, the teams, as we've discussed before, when it comes to the actual enterprise itself. But even in your personal life, who are you surrounded by? It's very important. And the next thing is, what sort of a network do you have? Where can you get the kind of information that may help you set you on your way? So those are things to think about. As usual, you can always go back and get some of the previous episodes on johnarthurharris.blogspot.com. And otherwise, we will see you next time.